Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the Streamlined CEO. I'm your host, Karalee, and I'm so glad that you are tuning in today. So, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're constantly putting out fires in your business? Raise your hand. Nod, whatever. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to blast it on social media. But it's like you're bouncing from one urgent task to the next one. Your to-do list never shrinks, and your big picture goals keep getting pushed even further down the road. That sounds like you. You're absolutely not alone. But what I do know is that you started your online business, whether you're a coach or a service provider, and it was probably fueled by passion for what you are providing. And you were ready to make an impact. But now it's like as you're going down this road, you feel more like you're reactive, plain and simple, not proactive. So you're like a reactive firefighter, right? Because you're putting out fires constantly. Then that more visionary CEO that you actually set out to be, right? So if that's you, if that sounds familiar, you're in the right place today. Okay, keep listening. So today we're tackling a massive, crucial shift, moving from that reactive state that's stuck deep in the weeds of these daily tasks to becoming that proactive CEO who leads with strategy and the best fun, confidence. And the key, it lies in streamlining your operations and implementing smart systems. Okay, and that's where I come in. This episode is for you, the driven, ambitious online coach or service provider whose business is one, growing. Okay, maybe even faster than you expected, which is always a great thing. But that growth is bringing operational headaches. You know you need more structure. Maybe you're even feeling the everything in my head syndrome, right? Where you're like, I'm the only one that knows everything. And the risk of burnout is becoming way too real, way too close. You're craving some predictability, a smoother way to run things so you can finally breathe and focus on what actually matters to you, what truly matters, right? So scaling your impact and maybe even getting some of that work-life balance back that you probably wanted to start your business for to begin with, to have a work-life balance. So let's talk about this reactive firefighter, all right? This reactive firefighter mode, you could say. What does it actually look like? I'm going to paint a picture for you. It's juggling client onboarding manually, spending hours answering the same questions. It's fixing tech hiccups on the fly. It's feeling like you are the only one who knows how anything really works. It's relying on your intuition for processes, which was fine when it was just you, right? But now it makes delegating feel impossible, and scaling feels absolutely terrifying. So you're stuck working in the business, managing that day-to-day chaos with absolutely no time or energy left to work on the business. So planning for the future, developing new offers, nurturing those key relationships that you know you need to do, or strategizing your next big move, the consequence is that you've hit this plateau. Your growth stalls, not because you lack clients, but because your operations can't handle more. Yes, I know it's a gut punch, right? I've had this gut punch before when the bottom fell out of my business. So uh, there is a podcast episode I will link in the show notes that talks about my story and my history and why I'm super passionate about streamlining operations. But that is a whole other episode. Okay. So, when you can't handle more clients, so honestly, it's exhausting. It's draining. It's draining your passion, and it leads straight to that overwhelm that we keep talking about and that you keep feeling. But of course, we're not just going to identify all these problems and not give you some good news or solutions, right? So here's some good news. It doesn't actually have to be that way. You don't have to be a reactive firefighter all the time. Now, will it still happen? Occasionally, yes, but it's not going to be a state that you live in. And the turning point comes when you recognize that fighting fires isn't sustainable. You need to build fire prevention systems. All right, that's where it's fun for me. So, this is where streamlining operations actually becomes your superpower. So, what do you mean by systems and streamlined operations? I get this question all the time. So I want you to think about it this way. Think about documented workflows. I want you to think about clear standard operating procedures or SOPs, maybe some automations, right? Some clever high-tech automations, defined roles if you have a team, or even if you plan to have a team. It's about creating a predictable, and efficient way for tasks to get done consistently and correctly. So regardless, this is the important part, regardless of who's doing them, whether it be you, whether it be a teammate, it doesn't matter, whoever is doing them. So why is this so freaking crucial? It's because systems, these things that I keep talking about all the time on this podcast, because systems create predictability. They remove the guesswork. They ensure a consistent client experience every single time when implemented correctly, okay? They make delegating tasks not just possible, but effective because there's a cleared roadmap to follow. This isn't about like some rigid bureaucracy or anything like that. It's about creating a foundation that frees you up to do what you want to do. And that is how you make the shift to a proactive CEO. So when you have solid operations humming along in the background, you elevate yourself out of the daily grind. You're no longer frantically reacting and you're strategically planning. So imagine this. Instead of being buried in admin work, you have hours back in your week. But what could you do with hours back in your week? What could you do with that time? Develop that high ticket offer you've been dreaming about, maybe focusing on some high level marketing strategy, maybe building partnerships, maybe mentoring your team, or maybe, just maybe, take a Friday afternoon off without your business falling apart. Sounds like a dream. Raise your hand if that's what you want. Keep listening. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast as well, or check out YouTube for bonus episodes, because this is all I talk about, is over and over again why we need to have streamlined operations. Okay. And that streamlined operations are going to mean this. This transformation to this proactive CEO means you can scale your business. Maybe even double your income. Wouldn't that be fantastic? In doubling your income without doubling your workload. Boom, boom, right? Or more importantly, even sacrificing your sanity. You can double your income without doubling your workload or sacrificing your sanity. Huge, right? So you move from this inconsistent, like feast or famine type of cycle to enjoying consistent client flow and predictable income. All right. So your business starts running like a well-oiled machine, even when you step away. And let me tell you, the feeling of being able to do that is fantastic. Okay. So ultimately, well streamlined operations allow you to build a business that supports your desired lifestyle. Right? Not the other way around. That's very important. We don't just want to build a business and have it suck all of our time away if that's not the desired lifestyle we actually want, correct? So you get to design how you want to work and live, creating a sustainable business that delivers exceptional client services and solidifies your reputation. Okay. I personally started my business because I wanted more flexibility to homeschool my kids and take them on trips and things like that. That was the biggest reason I started my business from home. Did I think it was going to turn into what it is now? No. But I absolutely love it. And I'm definitely more of a proactive CEO than a reactive firefighter for sure. And it's because of these systems that I teach and implement that have allowed me to do this. So I want to share that with you. Okay. But you might be thinking this too. This sounds amazing, right? It sounds amazing to have something like this, a sustainable business with streamlined operations. But you also might be asking yourself, where in the world do I even start? It feels overwhelming just thinking about documenting everything. I'll let you in on a little secret. I get it. And this is how you do it. You start small. Yes, you just pick one, and I'm serious, one reoccurring task that really drains you or always seems to cause issues. Okay. Maybe it's that client onboarding process or how you create social media content. Just start by writing down the steps. How do you do it? That's your first little mini SOP. Another idea here is maybe mapping out your core client journey from first contact to that project completion. Okay. Where are the bumps in this process? Where do things feel inefficient? just identifying these bottlenecks, which bottlenecks are where things slow down significantly in your business. This is a huge first step towards streamlining. Okay. I love it. I love talking about streamlining, love talking about operations, love talking about bottlenecks. I love problem solving. It seriously lights me up. But let's get real. Making the shift takes dedicated focus, and it can be incredibly difficult to see the hidden inefficiencies and bottlenecks when you're still caught up in the day-to-day. You need an outside perspective and a clear plan. I literally map things out. I have my VAs look over it and I said, what questions do you have? Where is it unclear? Can you actually execute this based off of this plan, this, whatever it is, right? These steps. And they tell me where the inefficiencies are. And then we create better SOPs, better step-by-step guides, better resources, all the things, okay? Or this could be like if you're a coach, you can give them to your clients and be like, hey, where do you still have more questions? I want to make this resource really, really valuable for you, okay? And that's where we get to see what these bottlenecks are, like where this clarity is not, okay? So this is actually precisely why I created the Operations Assessment Blueprint, which is mostly a VIP day. It's an intensive, it's a very powerful discovery process, and it's designed specifically for high-achieving online coaches and service providers like you who are ready to trade the chaos for the calm and the control, okay? So in this process, the Operations Assessment Blueprint, we go beyond just some basic mapping out, this process mapping. We go beyond that. So in this VIP day, we actually dive deep into your current operations. We induct some interviews, one-on-one interviews with you, that's the VIP day, but also some key team members if you have a team, and really uncover those hidden bottlenecks that are actually sabotaging, secretly, your growth and draining that energy. So from there, we actually develop a customized actionable 6-month roadmap, which is your blueprint to streamline your operations and build a truly scalable foundation and finally step into that proactive CEO role. So you don't have to do this alone. We can do this together. This is my absolute favorite offer because I get to highlight absolutely everything that I am really, really good at, and I get to get you feeling so much better about next steps in how you're going to actually achieve this work-life balance that you've been striving for. So I want you to imagine this, okay? I want you to imagine getting back hours in your week, scaling your impact without burning out, experiencing consistent growth, and building a business that truly supports the lifestyle that you desire. Okay, that's the promise of getting your operations in order. If you're tired of feeling overwhelmed and reactive, if you know anything about nervous system regulation and responses and things like that, if you're tired of feeling like you're in a fight or flight or a freeze mode, right? That's reactive in some form. That is or analysis paralysis, freezing. If you're ready to stop that, you're stop being that firefighter and you want to start being the architect of your business's future, like really literally designing the future of your business, I invite you to actually go and check out the Operations Assessment Blueprint. I encourage you to reach out to me on Instagram, or you can send me an email, Karalee@theproductivityimpact.com, and you can ask me all the questions that you have, whether that be about your operations, whether that be about the blueprint itself, whether that be about a process, whether that be about what in the world is my next step, okay? So I want you to head on over to the productivityimpact.com and schedule your free, no obligation. I am not going to try to hard sell you. I'm going to give you your best next steps consultation call. And we're going to talk about your specific challenges, yours, not anyone else's, not generic ones, your specific challenges. And then we're going to see how this blueprint or any other offer or human, okay, if I'm not the best fit for you, I have a network. I'm going to refer you to someone else. But to see how this blueprint can give you that clarity that you're after and that strategic plan that you know you need to finally streamline those operations and achieve those bigger goals that you have for your business, that maybe not having this foundation, these operations streamlined, is actually holding you back from achieving. Okay. So remember, shifting from this reactive firefighter to a more proactive CEO is absolutely achievable. And it all starts with prioritizing your operations, not putting them on the back burner like most people do, right? You deserve, okay? You are worthy of a business that runs smoothly and predictably. You really are, giving you that freedom and peace of mind that you absolutely crave. You are worthy of that. So that's all for this episode of the Streamlined CEO. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a topic I love to talk about. Start thinking about that one process that you want to document this week. That is your action step. That is your little mini SOP that we're going to create. So I'm Karalee Gault again. I want you to keep streamlining, keep scaling, and I'm going to catch you next week. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe or head on over to YouTube and subscribe there as well.